Hey, I'm going to show you how to get started here on your first vinyl cutout. You're going to first open up SignLab. Layout blank size is always the first thing you want to do. Make sure your current selection is all the way up to custom and that you have 14 by 8. Reset to square if this is some irregular shape and click OK. I'm going to just view, show sign blank, show fill, show grid. Typically I have that on. If I'm working on shirts, I definitely don't. It's up to you, but that is how you check those on. So now that we're ready to go, what I'd like you to do is WRPS logo and find our WR here. I like to use this one right here and copy image, go to SignLab, Control V, and then this is the upper left corner of it. Just click. If you want, you can make that a little bigger so it's a little easier here. Then I'm going to go to my line tool, custom draw, and click and apply. Once again, you can always go back, click on this node, use your arrows here to kind of tweak it. I can see this is a straight line, looks good. I'm going to go here, I'm going to tweak this one down. Like that. And this one looks okay. Like that right there. Apply. Then you're going to do that with this next one right away too. You shouldn't have to click a bunch, but if I do click and go right click and go up to the circle, I can start round nodes, or you can come back and do them. It doesn't matter. Click and drag. I'm going to right click, go back to straight nodes. I'm just going to keep using straight nodes through here. I'll come back and show you how to edit those. Always end where you start, so it's a complete shape. Apply. Okay, I see I have color. I'm going to double click, zoom in on this, right click, drag up to the circle to make it an arc node. And once again, you can fine tweak those. I would always shoot to have like straight lines. It looks straight, so now you see that straight, where if it's up here, you can see it looks like a bunch of steps. So try to always at least get those. When it comes to arcs, it's a little more difficult, but just kind of pick out, as they merge, the red to the black, kind of what line you want to follow as far as that goes. This I'm going to just click and drag over because I'm that far off. If you ever need to add a node, you just double click. So I'm just going to kind of straighten that out. These definitely need to be straightened out a little bit. And I feel slightly confident with this. You get the point, but you should take some time and do yours right. I'm just going to speed this up for demo purposes. Okay, so now that I have that, I want to take the shape out of the middle here. So I'm going to just go to Options, Show Fill. So I just have a line here. And then I'm going to go Do this again here. And apply. Change those to round, and everything looks fine. Okay, now I'm going to change that, what I just did, to white. And I'm going to have my fill again, so show fill or Alt S. And I'm going to highlight this background layer. I can pretty much delete the way background image now. But I'm going to highlight this, and then I'm going to hold Shift and click on the white. Or I can just go here and select all. Leave this out of it. And then I'm going to go here into the basic weld. Do you want to discard objects with the same color as the background? Yes. Boom. So now I punch that through, and now you can see that we have the grid behind it, which is awesome. That's what I wanted. And then if I want to add thickness to this, I can go transform outline. And for a 2-color, we would change this to red and turn it up. But for now, we're just going to do a 1-color just because we're learning. And I'm going to change this all to black. So highlight it all and go to black. And then I'm going to go Alt S. I can see that it would cut multiple things here. So what I want to do is just go to weld and weld it again. From there, I want to add some text. I want it to be the same width as my decal. So I'm just going to go here and there. And I'm going to type Pride in all caps. Highlight it and kind of start turning up the size there. And then you can change this to whatever font you'd like. I'm going to use something kind of just blocky so it stands out, or kind of just goes with our logo. It's just kind of to match this text right here. But you can do whatever you'd like. Alt S, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to shrink these down to about 3.5 inches. So I can go up here and I can just type in 3.5, enter. If this is locked, it's going to shrink everything the same percentage. If this is not locked, and I type in like, say 8 inches here, it's going to distort it. So you don't want to do that. This is the undo button. Get familiar with it. I use it a lot. Or just Control Z for the hotkey. But at 3.5, I should be able to slide that down to the lower corner here. Control C, Control V. Just kind of have this one snap to the bottom grid as well. This one kind of snap to the bottom grid. And this one as well. So now I have 3 of them in here. If you want to size them down, you definitely can to fit 4. It'd be an efficient way to use vinyl. It's kind of expensive, so try to save as much as you can. But yeah, I think I'm going to go along with that. Then I'm going to highlight everything just because I'm ready to cut. I have it all in line, and this is when you come and get it checked off and say, hey, I'd like to create this one. So like when you get going on your independent projects or your 2-color cutout, whatnot, you're just going to have to get these checked off. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a sign blank that's laid out, and then your decals laid out. And then we're going to highlight all those, and we're going to go to what's called a weed border. What it's going to do is put a decorative border around here so that I can just peel the vinyl out much, much easier. So I'm going to use the power weed border. If you zoom in, you see these lines here. So here's your outline away from your letters. It's 0.1, which is like exactly where I want it. And then 0.0 here is this line is going to go all the way up to here and then stop. And then it's going to keep continuing right here, and that makes it much easier to peel out the vinyl. And it's really easy to show this in actual demonstration, and it's really hard to explain on the computer, but just take my word for it, and when we get into the demo, I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I want to add a line, I can grab one of the sides and drag it over here, or I can drag it back and it gets rid of it. And then I always want to drag one down and put it right through the middle of my font so that I can just take out the vinyl that I don't want and go from here to here to here to here and so on, and just kind of rip it down as a long strip instead of trying to go to the right of this letter and to the left of it at the same time. It just doesn't work. So then when I'm done, I'm going to hit apply, and then this is where we save it. So you're going to go to File, Save. Make sure you have a home drive here. Maybe put a folder there. Save it, and then I would also save it to a flash drive. Sometimes we put the names on our flash drives or whatnot if you own your own. And then export it to that. I want to export it as a CDL so I can use the big vinyl cutter. And then I also want to go back through and go File, Export, and I want to save it as an AI file. I'm sorry, you want to save it as an EPS, Level 3 EPS. AI is for Adobe Illustrator. You want to save it as a Level 3 EPS so that we can use it on the smaller cutters, and then save it to your flash drive as well. So you should have two files, a CDL and a Level 3 EPS. And export, and then from there you should be able to just go to the back computers, and I'll give you a demo when we get into smaller groups. So as long as you're here, if you want to get that checked off, get it saved to a flash drive, CDL, and a Level 3 EPS, then you're good to go.